Thank you all so much for joining this live. I appreciate you all so much. Today is Monday, March the 10th, 2025. Yesterday was my mom's birthday. It doesn't seem like she's gone. And it doesn't seem like Thaddeus is gone either. And it was a very joyous day yesterday. And I appreciate a lot of you all, my internet family and supporters, for helping me to celebrate my mom's heavenly birthday. And, for some people, you know, a loved one's passing is a time of grief. And it does come in stages, okay? And I miss my mom tremendously. And I'm missing Thaddeus too. 7 o'clock at night or randomly throughout the day is just not the same. These social media streets. Thaddeus kept the party jumping, literally, right? There was never a dull moment when Thaddeus was here. Just when we thought it was safe, it was absolutely not. And coincidentally, or is it coincidence? I have inherited a lot of Thaddeus's fans, and Thaddeus has some interesting fans. Okay, so I need y'all to be on y'all best behavior. Okay, because I got a little bit of Thaddeus in me. Okay, just like Thaddeus, I didn't tolerate no foolishness. Okay, so y'all come over here and sit down and act like you got some sense and you've been raised right. Okay, all right, yeah, and yeah. So when Thaddeus was alive, um, I would make a lot of commentary. I was with him when he was right, okay? And a lot of times I would make what he considered negative comments. Now, the thing about that is he could make negative comments about everybody else, but he didn't like receiving what he perceived to be negative comments. And that's crazy work, okay? That's crazy work. I don't understand it. And it seems like some of his relatives inherited that same character trait or character flaw. Okay. And it seems like they want to be all of a sudden content creators. That's what it's given. They're doing a whole lot of appearances in these social media streets lately. And I heard they don't like negativity and disrespect. Honey, you're not ready for social media spotlight if you cannot handle negativity and disrespect. Okay, that comes with the territory. Ask me how I know. Okay, but I digress. So, anyway, I've been doing a lot of reflecting, right? And I personally feel like, and I probably always will, nobody else has to agree with me. This is my outlook about this situation. I really feel like that is probably would still be here and would have lived much longer had he had the proper circle of support, better um healthy eating, and a lot of more compassionate and mature and godly people around him instead of a whole lot of that ratchetness. Okay. And, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. And he was allegedly dealing with diabetes. I know personally how much of a booger bear that diabetes can be. And it's something that you have to deal with every single day. You go to bed with it. You wake up with it. You tote it around with you all throughout the day. You don't get any days off. You don't get to take a break. And it can be managed, but it's a monster, literally, just having to manage it. And I'm sick of it. And I'm pretty sure Thaddeus was too. Okay, I'm going to speak for a lot of the diabetic community. I'm sick of it. Ugh. And I want to know why the hood rats and the heathens can't get diabetes. Ugh. Do they ever get sick? And they are the most risky people and just live any kind of way. And they live such a long time, the hood rats and the heathens. My God. Whew. I guess Satan needs some helpers. So I guess that's why they live so long and don't never get sick. But I digress again. So yeah. I'm just gonna be honest. You know, I have a habit of telling the truth and shaming the devil. And a lot of people don't like for you to tell the truth, but I'm gonna tell the truth and shame the devil. I try my best to manage this diabetes, but every now and again, like today when I get off this live, I like to eat some food that's not healthy. Yeah, and I'm gonna eat something real nasty and greasy and unhealthy. And it's partly I'm gonna blame my doctor, my diabetic doctor. I just got away from her. I just had my appointment, and she don't have a whole lot of compassion. You need to have compassion when people are sick. And I got a feeling she's sick of me. Because I got a feeling she know that I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Well, she probably is not either. Okay. And it made me feel so bad. I could see that look in her eyes. Look in her eyes. And it was telling me, oh, she don't give a damn about me. Okay. And she's not cooperating with me. And she probably feel like I'm not cooperating with her. I need to get another doctor. Okay, I need to dump this doctor and get another doctor. But good doctors, just like a good man, a good mechanic, a good masseuse, a good this and a good that, it's so hard to find. But I'm gonna replace her. Okay, I'm sick of her treating me any kind of way and rushing me out of the room and just telling me anything to get me out of her face. I need some help with this diabetes. And I wish I could give it to a hood rat. I wish I could give it to a heathen and just divest myself of this infirmity. Okay. Oh. And she made me feel so bad a while ago while I was in her little chambers. And before I knew it, when I got out in the parking lot after I left, I just cried. I just cried like a baby. Because she made me feel so bad. Like she didn't even care about me. And I got a feeling that's how Thaddeus felt so many times. I could see it on his face so many times when he went live. And I wanted better for him. But he had all of these wretched folks around him trying to make decisions for him on his behalf. And that's why I keep reminding myself to really pay attention and try my best to find a way to reverse this diabetes. Because when you get sick, People don't give a damn about you, and they will throw you away. Yeah, they don't have time for you when you're sick. They don't like to deal with you when your back is up against the wall. And you need some grace. You need some compassion between that space of your back and the wall. And God is a healer. God is a way maker. But we got a lot of work to do on our own while God intercedes on our behalf. And it takes time. It's a process. And it's tough. It's real tough dealing with the process. And so many people, like Thaddeus, don't make it through the process. And I saw death slow walking Thaddeus these last 3 or 4 years. Every time he would go to the doctor and go to the hospital, I knew one day he wasn't going to come back to give his testimony and snub his nose at death. I knew one day death was going to catch up with Thaddeus and put him in the chokehold and not release his grip. I could see the changes in Thaddeus. His face. Sometimes he lose weight. Sometimes he gain weight. But he was only gaining weight because of the swelling in his body from the fluid. And I could hear him complaining so many times about having to urinate and taking the fluid pills. And it was just a suffering thing. And I understand how challenging it is with taking all these medications. I'm sick of them medications too. I'm sick and tired of going back and forth to the doctor. I'm sick and tired of making healthy choices as it relates to what to eat, as it relates to what to drink, as it relates to exercise. I can't stand exercising. And some people love it. I don't understand those kind of people. The truth of the matter, I want to do what I want to do. And that's the attitude that Thaddeus had. He want to do what he want to do. So I could understand him from that perspective. I have the same attitude. I want to do what I want to do. But when you're dealing with diabetes and all these other sicknesses, you can't do what you want to do. You can, but it's going to be some repercussions. Repercussions that you are not ready to deal with. And it's like a domino effect. One thing after the other. And even with the medications, it comes side effects. And I heard him talking about dealing with depression, loneliness. And so many people that were around him did not understand. And the truth of the matter, a lot of them just didn't care. And he voiced his opinion about it so many times. He said that he felt like his own children didn't care if he lived or died. And I can imagine that was a hard thing to realize in that situation. And then you got to think about it. He was used to being independent, driving himself, going here, going there. But as his health began to decline, he was falling down. He was going to sleep. He was peeing on himself. And that was embarrassing. And I remember, a lot of you all may remember, when he did the several lives talking about, feeling like he's not wanted by his significant other. He can't get an erection. And that was a tough. I could see in his face, his whole disposition, his whole energy. That was a tough show for Thaddeus to do. To talk about his manhood not working, and he feeling not like his significant other is not finding him appealing. Can you imagine your life is slowly leaving you, and the person who you would want to want you and find you attractive and be affectionate with you, they don't want to deal with you. And you already struggling with getting older. He talked about that. He didn't like being older and getting older. He didn't like what he saw in the mirror, his reflection. He talked about that. Can you imagine what he went through when he was all alone in the middle of the day like today, in that house by himself, dealing with depression, dealing with frustration, wanting to talk to somebody, but they didn't want to talk to him. He did have the dog, but then the dog got snatched away from him. His health was already being snatched away from him, and then they snatched the dog. That was his support animal. And I think that would have helped him to live a little bit longer too. That would have been a lot for his heart that was already failing. His heart was failing. His health was failing. His marriage was failing. So much was failing. But I thank God for grace. A lot of times, just like my own mother and my brother, and so many of my other loved ones and friends, even my foes, a lot of times when God won't seemingly answer our prayers on this side of life, He'll still heal us on the other side. That's how God's grace is sufficient. My mother, she died from congestive heart failure also, like that is. And I can imagine on the other side of this life, they have a new heart. My mom, she had her leg amputated. Thaddeus had lost the strength in his legs. He could not even walk anymore. Can you imagine what that feels like when you're used to being independent, walking around doing things for yourself, and then you find yourself not being able to walk? You can't even go to the bathroom. You can't even get up and get yourself what you want to drink out of the refrigerator. And you're lying there all alone in bed. You may not even have anybody to call to get you some water or get your favorite juice out of the refrigerator and bring it to you. You can't even go and get it yourself. Can you imagine what that feels like to have your health snatched from under you like that all of a sudden? Oh my God. And we look at these other people, and it could easily be you. It could easily be me. I pray it doesn't. That's why it's so important to have compassion and show compassion and mercy. Because that same set of health problems that affected my mom, my uncles, my aunts, Thaddeus, and so many people, it could easily spin the block. And you don't have to be old for failing health to spin the block. No, you don't have to be old to die. No, no. And I could go on and on and on. But anyway, I didn't even mean to get into all of that. So let's get into the recap of the funeral. As a lot of you know, that is, it doesn't even sound right. It doesn't even feel right to say this. That is his funeral. It doesn't sound right saying that. It doesn't feel right saying that. But anyway, yeah. His funeral was this past Saturday, 2 days ago. And I think Angie Stone's, that doesn't even seem right or sound right either. Angie Stone's funeral. And I'm hearing that it's going to be 2 different funerals, a private and a public funeral, next Saturday. And I believe it will be live streamed. And it's so many people that have been so nasty towards her daughter and making all these nasty videos and saying that she's begging for cash apps. She's not begging for cash apps. I know begging when I hear it and see it. That's not begging what she has been doing. And these people that feel like she's begging, why do you even care? Why are you even on her page? And some of these people, they didn't even like her mama. And they even said nasty things about her mama. People are being so messy. People are being so messy right now. And I don't even want to say what they've been saying about that girl. But that is horrible. That is so horrible. To go over there trolling that girl and meddling with that girl the way a lot of these YouTubers have been doing, these content creators are a mess. But anyway, okay, let's get back to this and the recap of the funeral for Thaddeus. So I saw that it was dubbed as this showstopper, the last show of Thaddeus. And it wasn't given showstopper, okay? No offense. You know, I can appreciate the people that put it together. I thank them for their efforts. It was nice overall, but to say it was a showstopper, nah. It was a decent, very nice, civilized funeral. And I appreciate the people who I thought was going to put on a lot of shenanigans and performances. I appreciate them not doing that. Okay? And myself and some people, we noticed that we haven't seen any tears. Maybe they've been crying behind the scene. You know, they say everybody grieves different. I guess. But I didn't see his son. Have y'all seen his son? I haven't seen his son, and I'm wondering how his son has been dealing with this passing of his dad and all of this other rigmarole that's been going on. I just wonder. I just wonder how he's dealing with it and what he has to say, or if he has any thoughts about it at all. And yeah, I hadn't seen him, and I was just curious. I was just curious about that. So yeah. Um I was so shocked. Is anybody else shocked about this? You know, Thaddeus had helped promote and play a lot of the music of a lot of these Southern soul artists, Chick Rogers, Tony Green, um, J1, O.B. Buchanan, even, what is his name? What is his name? The older blues singer, the man. He has that girl with the big butt. What is his name? I'm looking right at him in my head. What is his name? What is his name? Somebody help me, please. Somebody help me, please. What is his name? I can't believe that I can't remember his name. What is his name? Oh, yes, they did do a good job on that, didn't they? I was so nervous that he was going to be looking like the last picture when he was in the hospital right before he passed. Oh, my goodness. He looked like he was just taking a nap. Just taking a nap. He looked really like himself. You know, when he was up and healthy and everything. They did a marvelous job. But what is the man's name? The blues singer. The blues singer. He's like in his 80s. He's still jumping around like he's 20 years old. What is his name? Can somebody please Google the blues singer? He's black. He's a black blues singer. And he has the girl with the big butt dancing on stage with him. What is his name? I'm looking right at him in my head. What is his name? Somebody please help me. I'm having a brain freeze. What is his name? What is his name? Oh, yeah, I saw Stacy Marino. Of course, Stacy was going to be there, right? Bobby Rush. Thank you, LaVonda. Who's that? Latasha. Thank you so much. Yes, Bobby Rush. Thank you. I was shocked. Was anybody else shocked that Bobby didn't? Maybe he was, but I didn't see him. And if Bobby wasn't there, maybe he was sick. Maybe he had, I don't know. Maybe he had an important engagement. But I thought they were so close. He had called Thaddeus his friend. I'm not saying that he's obligated to be there, but I'm just so surprised that he wasn't, and he didn't get up to say something or even sing a song. Wow. And Willie Clayton, what was Willie Clayton? Sir Charles. Who else? Calvin Richardson. What was all these blues singers and Southern soul singers that Thaddeus has helped to promote and been playing their music on the show? I was shocked. I didn't see any of them. Did y'all see any of them? I didn't see none of them. Wow. I didn't even see any of them putting a tribute on Facebook. Wow. Maybe they did. I just didn't see it. Once again, not that they're obligated, but I'm just saying. So, yeah, I saw Stacy Marino. He did a really great job. And I'm guessing the color theme was purple and gold. I heard that was his favorite color, purple. So, I know he was selling caskets at one time. Seems like they would have had a purple casket, or maybe they couldn't find it, or maybe it was too expensive. I don't know. But it was a decent casket. It was decent. And it had, a spray of flowers that had a little purple and lavender in it. And a couple of people in the family I see that they had on gold and some of them had on purple and lavender. And they look decent. They look decent. And okay, so let's go down the list of, the people that stood up and talked. A lot of these people. Okay, let's back up. Let's back up before we go any further. I think I need to make this PSA. Now this isn't pertaining to Thaddeus's funeral per se. I just want to say this across the board for all the funerals moving forward. Can you all please try to make an effort to get your clothes together and look a little decent and show some respect? And I know a lot of these people, they don't like to get dressed up, but I'm starting to see a lot of flip-flops and sandals and chunky tennis shoes and these old gas station t-shirts. Oh, you're looking ratchet and raggedy at the funeral. And I've been seeing a lot of this when I be watching the funerals online. And I'm like, especially at my home church, I've been seeing a lot of this. And I'm like, what's going on with the funerals? I thought people used to get dressed up and look nice. And people are just looking like they just got out of the bed, just rolled out of the bed, and didn't even give no effort. They're not combing their hair anymore. And I'm like, how can you walk in the house of the Lord? You're not walking into a bar. You're not walking into a nightclub. You're not walking into a trap house. You're walking into the house of the Lord. Okay. What happened to showing respect for the dead? Okay. Okay. Oh, can y'all start taking baths and getting dressed up and combing your hair when you go to funerals? Oh, my God. And all this smoking cigarettes outside the church and drinking outside the church. You heathens. You heathens. You need to learn some decorum. Ooh, for the church. Ooh. And a lot of these heathens, when they go to these gangster funerals, these gangsters that die, these thugs that die, they just show up any kind of way, don't they? And I think they be toting guns into the church. Yeah. Y'all need to show some respect for the house of the Lord. Ooh. Now, I didn't see anybody raggedy, dressed raggedy at the funeral. I did scan the crowd when the camera, zoomed around and panned around the church. I didn't see anybody raggedy. Thank God. Thank God. Thaddeus funeral. I didn't see nobody raggedy and dressed any kind of way. Everybody looked nice. So I'm going to commend everybody that attended the funeral. Y'all look nice. And yeah. So let's go down let's go down the list of people that stood out. Okay. Dante Hill. I didn't listen to him because he's so long-winded, and then he just seemed like, no offense, but in my opinion, he just go out of his way to make the event, the speech, and everything all about him. And it seemed like every speech that he gives, all of it sounds the same. So I really didn't care that I missed his speech, but I'm pretty sure it was nice. I didn't care to hear it though. But who else? The woman from the city council, she was doing too much, in my opinion. I mean, she just stood up there just talking, and it just sounded like wah, 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 wah. Ooh, and that, I'm not, should I say anything about her hair? It was getting on my nerves. It was getting on my, that gray curl, that side ponytail was getting on my nerves. And I was so glad when she sat down. I think she did some kind of proclamation in honor of Thaddeus or something like that. But I'm like, why didn't they give this honor to him while he was alive? I'm sick of people. I'm sick of people giving more love and respect and honor to the dead than they do when they're alive. Don't they give you more respect and honor and recognition when you die. And he would appreciated all of this while he was alive. And some people will say, well, better late than never. Give him his get the people get the flowers when they're alive and they can smell them and appreciate them. That's all I'm trying to say. But people won't come and see you while you're alive, but they'll come from near and far and donate cash apps when you're dead. You can't use the cash apps when you're dead. And where's all that visitation? He wanted to see all these people when he was alive. And so many of these people, they wouldn't even go to the hospital or the rehab center to visit him when he was alive. Now they're showing up everywhere for the funeral. Oh, that's crazy work. But anyway, oh, I saw Red Velvet. Did y'all see Red Velvet? I hadn't seen Red Velvet in a long time. You know, they've been longtime friends. And I think towards the end of the song, Red Velvet kind of got choked up and emotional. Because, they've been knowing each other a long time. And she looks real good. She done lost a lot of weight. And her skin looks good. She looks real emotionally healthy and strong. And I liked her speech. Did y'all like her speech before she sang the song? I like that. And who else? Oh yes. Oh yes. Mayor Harrington, who I feel should still be the mayor of Memphis. He did a wonderful, remarkable job. I really enjoyed every word he said. I was just hanging on to every word that he said. Am I the only one that was hanging on to every word that he said? And I wanted him to say more and more. Yes, I didn't want him to shut up. I wanted him to just keep on talking outside of his 2 minutes and just talk, talk, talk. I could just listen to him talk all day long, every day. He needs a podcast. Am I the only one that want to hear him every day on a regular basis? I wish he would get a podcast because I'm pretty sure he got a lot of things to say that's important and beneficial. Okay, locally and nationally, maybe even globally. Okay, but he did a wonderful job. I like what he said about Thaddeus, and I really appreciate what he said about, real men, how they can have disagreements and fall out and get back together or something to that effect. And they did fall out. I remember when him and Thaddeus fell out. And then years later, they patched things up some kind of way. And I remember the details, but I forgot the details at the same time. And, this last election, Thaddeus was helping him to campaign and bring awareness to his campaign for mayor. And I saw Thaddeus at the hotel, not like that. Mayor Harrington had the event at the hotel, and Thaddeus was looking for a parking spot, and I was getting ready to move. I had a real good parking spot up front, and I wasn't going to say nothing to him because we kind of was on bad terms a little bit, and I had said some reckless, greasy stuff about him online, and I didn't want no smoke. But I said, no, that's kind of my friend in my head. Thaddeus, he's still going to be my friend in my head. So I said, hey, Thaddeus. And Thaddeus kind of grouchy. He don't like to talk to everybody. And he seen me, and he recognized who I was, but he tried to play like he didn't recognize who I was. And I was kind of glad because I didn't want to argue with him. I didn't want him to talk ugly to me because I was going to talk ugly back to him. And I didn't want to do all of that. I didn't want to do all of that. And so I told him, I said, you can get my parking space. I tried to talk nice to him. And he was like, what? Trying to act like he didn't hear what I said. Trying to act like he didn't hear what I said. And I said, I don't want no smoke. I don't want no smoke. So I just eased on out the way. I just eased on out the way. And things. And so, Do we want to get into to what he said on the video about the chicken? Yeah. I think, if I'm not mistaken, a few weeks later, him and Tasha K had the little back and forth, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. And I'm gonna tell you why I enjoyed it. Because in my opinion, no offense, and it pissed me off. That is just literally licking Tasha K's butt and just acting like she was just the best thing since sliced bread, right? And oh, he was so happy. He was so happy to interview with her time after time and time again. And I knew it was just a matter of time before they fell out with each other. I knew it. I knew, because they too much alike. They too much alike. So they did. They did. They did. They fell out, and they fell out real hard. And it was so messy. It was so messy, and I loved it. And he was so mad that I instigated, and other people instigated. So y'all remember that live he did, and he called me a bitch. He called me a bitch. He called me a bitch, and he lied on me, and I could tell he was lying, and and talking about he used to come to my house and give me some church's chicken. I don't even like church's chicken, and And I think he said it gave me $15 too. He owed me $15 because he didn't give me no $15, and I feel like I'm worth more than $15. Okay, but that was the whole point. He was trying to throw shade at me because he didn't appreciate me talking about him in his opinion in a negative way. But he could talk stuff about me, but he didn't want me to talk stuff about him. But I was with him when he was right. But most of the time I did agree with that, is 98.9% of the time. But when he started talking all that mess and disrespecting the dead, no. And then talking all that stuff about the sex. Oh, every conversation, no matter what the topic, he gonna find a way to talk about some sex. And I just didn't want to hear all of that. Okay. And it took away from a lot of the topics that really would have been of substance and beneficial. And he had to remind us that he had been in the business for 48 years. I got sick of him talking about that 48 years. Okay, if you gonna give yourself the glory and the pat on the back, no. Everybody else should give you that kind of pat on the back. Okay, if you the baddest, and I used to say that all the time through the screen. When every time he say that, I said, the people supposed to give you all this accolade. You're not supposed to give yourself the accolade. If you're the baddest, your work's supposed to speak for itself. Okay, but he was very good at what he did. Okay, and he was very controversial. He loved being controversial. So whatever it took, even if he didn't play fair, he told you he didn't play fair. Okay, and in my opinion, that's the only reason why the wife got the upper hand towards the end on him, because he didn't get back on his feet. He didn't get his health back. He didn't regain his health. If he had regained his health and strength, he would have ran her out of town. Yes, the old Thaddeus that I remember, he didn't play fair. And however he had to get you, whenever you got on his bad side and rubbed him the wrong way and put your mouth on him, he was going to get you back. He was going to get his lick back. Yes. And that's why I laughed when he said what he said about me on the video. Yeah, because I'm the same way. I don't play fair. Well, I used to be like that. I used to be kind of dirty just like that. So I understood what he was doing. Okay? And I knew I was going to talk about him too, and I did. Yeah, and he came on my page talking smack, And he didn't expect for me to respond the way I did. Oh my God. Do y'all remember? Do y'all remember what I said? And I didn't mean to put him out there and embarrass him like that. And I knew he was going to get me back. But he got distracted because Tasha K was getting an uppercut on him, literally. Oh my God. Tasha was just wearing him out. And I said, oh, and then the wife was attacking him. I said, oh, he getting attacked from the left and the right. And here I go on top and somebody else on the bottom and somebody else in between. It was too much. It was too much. I said, he can't handle these women, these young women. He can't handle these young women. And these young bloggers, I kept telling him he can't handle these young bloggers. It's a new day. And he kept on talking about, if I've been here 48 years, 48 years ain't got nothing to do with these young folks. And in these social media streets, this a new day. This a new day. We appreciate you. We salute you for the 48 years, but it's a new day. It's a new playing field out here. Okay? Yeah. Baby, Tasha K was just giving them uppercuts and body slamming everything. And, and I said, oh, I was impressed. He couldn't keep up. He could not keep up. And it was so hilarious what he was saying to her and what she was saying back to him. And then he got so mad at me because I kept on posting it on my page. And he felt like I should have stayed out of it. I should have been neutral. Nope. I've been waiting on somebody to get you. I've been waiting. Yeah. And I didn't think it was going to be Tasha because they were so close and charming. Child, they turned on each other just like that. And I was waiting on T.S. Madison to do it. I think they did have a little fallout, a little disagreement. And I was thinking T.S. Madison gonna help put him on the syndicated stage and give him a little show. But I think his mouth was too reckless, and the people up there didn't want to fool with him because he would just say what he wanted to say. And when you on a certain level in the industry, you gotta play ball their way. You can't go over there saying what you want to say, and he was just determined he was going to do it his way. So I think that's what kind of stunted his growth in the industry. And it kind of aggravated him. And bothered him, And of course, I understood when he was disrespecting young Dolph. I didn't appreciate that. And it made me so mad to hear him saying what he was saying about young Dolph. And I think it was because he felt like he deserved that title. King of Memphis. And Thaddeus, I feel like he's the GOAT. The GOAT, greatest of all times, the GOAT of Memphis. I give him that because ain't nobody stirred up Memphis the way he done stirred up Memphis. Okay? But I feel like, yes, young Dolph does deserve the title. Him and who? Jerry Lawler and Elvis Presley. They gonna have to share the crown. Not share the crown, but share the throne. They got their own crown. But I don't think Thaddeus, I'm not gonna say deserve. That's too much of a strong word. I'm not gonna say that he no, I don't think he can get the title King of Memphis, but I give him GOAT, the greatest of all time, because he stirred up a lot of stuff, and as it relates to controversy, and his name, is just going for, I ain't gonna say forever, but for a couple of generations to come, it's gonna ring, and most people when they hear that name, it kind of shake them up, because they know for the most part he did a lot of good, but it's a lot of mess is associated with that name. It's a lot of mess. Do y'all remember when he exposed Debo's wife sucking dick? I don't know. allegedly with a police officer. Baby, it went viral. It went super viral. Yes. And then the Leicester Street murders. He put the pictures out there of the corpse, and everybody was like, "Oh my God!" And it went national, national. Yes. And there was so many other stories, and he helped break a lot of stories, and he wanted his credit. He always wanted his credit, and he felt like it wasn't right that he didn't get his credit, like the Tyree Nichols situation. And to his credit, he did, to my recollection, he did, get a lot of, what's the word? A lot of, awareness. He did bring a lot of awareness, and it did start, and to my recollection, it did start on his platform. For weeks and weeks and weeks, he talked about it, and gave us a lot of information that we did not know, and I appreciate that. Is for that. Okay, a lot of people was giving him information, and he was sharing with us at the expense of a lot of ridicule. A lot of people felt like he shouldn't be talking about this. He shouldn't be showing this. He shouldn't be showing that. He needs to shut his mouth and this and that, because a lot of these people got these secrets, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these people that's dirty and got a lot of secrets and doing a lot of things like getting slutted out. Oh, I bet they so glad he gone now, because they can get slutted out in peace. Yeah. And don't have to worry about him exposing them and on the show and all over the place and things. And I'm going to miss him in that regard. Baby, he was messy, and I enjoyed the mess. Is anybody else that enjoyed the mess? I enjoyed the mess. It was a good mess for the most part, yes. And I don't think nobody gonna be able to be messy like that is. I just don't think nobody gonna be able to be messy like that on that level. Woo! Child, it's just gonna be so lonely without him, ain't it? Who can we depend on to be so messy in a good way like that? Most of these other bloggers, they so scared to be messy. And they don't want to hurt people's feelings and rub certain people the wrong way. But Thaddeus didn't give a damn. Yeah. He was honored to tell the truth and shame the devil. Yes. And to be honest, as quiet as it's kept, he didn't tell everything. He took a lot of things to his grave. Okay. And a lot of people probably need to be glad about it. Yes, it's a lot of things that he could have told that he didn't tell. Yes, maybe he had too much. Maybe him being sick interfered with him telling a lot of stuff. He probably had a backlog of stuff to tell, and he got distracted with all this sickness and going back and forth with his family and blah, blah, blah. Yes. I hope he don't get over there on the other side in heaven and be messy. Okay, and God had to tell him, go over there and sit down. Go over there and sit down by Abraham. Abraham, take his hand and sit him down. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. And, it's so many of our loved ones that's done left that's going to be happy to see Thaddeus in heaven. Like Marvin Cease. My favorite person in the blues arena, Johnny Taylor. Ooh, you can't tell me nothing about Johnny Taylor. Baby, if I was a younger girl back in the day with Johnny Taylor, I would have to make him make me his girlfriend, one of the girlfriends. He had a lot of them, allegedly. Oh, am I the only one that's crazy about Johnny Taylor? But yeah, Johnny Taylor, he gonna be meeting Johnny Taylor on the other side. Bobby Blue Bland, Jay Blackfoot, and all of these other celebrities that's gone on. And he gonna be over there just running his mouth. Just running his mouth. Yes. And So let's get back to the funeral, okay? Okay. So yes, I enjoyed the sentiments of former mayor Willie Harrington. He did a really remarkable job, and I really want him to get a podcast. Yes. And he looks good for his age, don't he? He look better than some of these younger folks. Yes. While a lot of these people be trying to age shame folks. Honey, he's 80, looking like he's still 26. Yes. Meanwhile, some of these people that's 26 look like they 95 and their birthday might be tomorrow and things. So yeah, who else? Who else was on the program? Um, who else? I can't remember the other people, but it was several other people that came and you know, talked on the program. And the man that did the organ music, I used to hear Thaddeus talk about him all the time. I forgot his name right now, but Thaddeus was very fond of him over the years. And oh, Pastor Ricky Floyd. You know, Thaddeus was crazy about him. That was his pastor. And they go way back. And I remember Thaddeus telling us all a lot of times how they met in the background. And Pastor Floyd, he was on live the other day telling how they met and everything. And that was a very interesting background, how they met and everything. But Pastor Ricky Floyd, I think he was kind of nervous at first because that was his friend, right? And a lot of people that was close, especially the men that was close to Thaddeus, they've really been emotional and all choked up, right? So I think I could see him sitting there gathering himself, getting himself together, you know, trying to be strong. Right before he stood up to do the eulogy, he did a really magnificent job on the eulogy. Did anybody else really appreciate the eulogy? He did very well. He spoke very well. And I liked a lot of I liked his whole eulogy. It was really, really great. And I could listen to him a little bit longer. He did really well. I really enjoyed his eulogy. Everything he said was really, really wonderful. And he looked so nice and I lost a lot of weight. Him and his wife, they look real good. And they doing a lot of great community service around the city. And this is what I didn't like right here. This is what let's talk about it. This is what I did not like right here. I'm so glad I remembered this part right here. I was hoping that nobody. I want black people. It's not black people. It's niggas that's doing this. I want niggas to stop this right here. Will y'all please stop taking pictures of the dead folks in their casket and putting it online? Where did y'all get that from? Where did you start that? Huh? Whew. See, niggas love death, even though they pretend like they don't. They love death. Oh. And if you pay attention, a lot of them got all these death pictures and pictures all in the graveyard, all over their Facebook page. They love death. They love these rest in peace t-shirts. Pictures of dead folks on their t-shirts. Ooh, they get on my nerves with this. Glorifying death. And they're the only ones that do this. You don't never see no white people walking around with rest in peace t-shirts with dead folks on it. Teddy bears all around the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. You don't see Chinese and Asian and Indian folks with dead folks all over their Facebook page. Whew. I was so disturbed when the funeral hadn't even started yet. You know, the visitation was from 9 to 10. And I had clicked onto the live stream a little after 10. I think it was like 10:08 when I clicked on. But before I clicked on, I was looking for the live stream by typing in Thaddeus Matthews on Facebook in the search bar. That's when I seen the pictures of Thaddeus in the casket. I said, I know this ain't going on. Oh my God. And I seen one of the bloggers, content creators, had posted it. And later on, I saw that the funeral home, E.H. Ford Mortuary, they had put that camera all in the casket. I said, oh my God, where is the tech? Where is the decorum? Where is the taste? Where is the professionalism? Where is the decency? Where is the respect for the dead? Oh my God, my God. Mm, mm, mm. Well, somebody might say, well, maybe the family wanted that. Well, the family should not want that. And somebody might say, well, what about the people that can't make it to the funeral in person and they want to see him? Well, you just should use your imagination. Okay? Whew. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. And see, some of these people, they want to do that for clout and views. They want to be, oh, I got the exclusive photos. You know what I'm saying? That falls under the category, in my opinion, that falls under the category of everything does not belong on Facebook. Everything don't belong on social media. I think we need to have a town hall meeting with the niggas. Yes, the niggas. The niggas. Y'all just do too much. Okay? Y'all just do anything because you haven't been raised right. You haven't had no training. Whew. Like Thaddeus said, I never thought I would get to the place where I didn't like niggas no more. Whew. But you knew niggas. You knew niggas. Touch your neighbor and say everything don't belong on Facebook. Okay. Oh, my God, my God. But anyway, I seen that same blogger / content creator earlier this morning. There he go. He don't went to the graveyard. He don't went to the graveyard and went live. I said, oh, he just going way too far with his camera. Got his tail all out there at the graveyard. And if I'm not mistaken, he was one of these bloggers that was talking trash about that is when he was alive. And dragging him when the viral sex video came out. Yes, because I think he's in that community. You know what I mean? The community. So his point was to say, oh, portray Thaddeus as a hypocrite. Okay. And am I the only one that find it interesting that nobody in the family, and I can understand Thaddeus because he was so busy being sick and almost just clinging on to life. He just didn't have time to file a police report and get the investigation started to find out the identity of the leaker who leaked the sex video. But am I the only one that find it interesting that nobody in the family, to my understanding, has shown any interest in finding out who the leaker is, identifying the leaker, and prosecuting the leaker for revenge porn? That says a lot, don't it? But I digress. It's a shame that he had to leave this world with that right there. being one of the last things that went viral attached to him. But in truth, that is fashion. A part of me just feel like he wouldn't have it any other way. As he said, good or bad publicity is publicity. And that's what it was all about for the most part. What that is, publicity. But some people would say that probably was what killed him. That video. That video. He was just barely hanging on as it was. And then this disgraceful video come out of nowhere. But I'm so glad y'all don't stop circulating that video. Okay, I'm so glad that y'all finally stop sharing that video. Okay, and don't share it no more. Okay, put that video in the garbage. Okay, will y'all do that for me, please? Just put it in the garbage. Don't bring it out no more. Okay, but that was so low down of whoever leaked it. But there was a lot of capping going on at the beginning of the funeral. When I tuned in, I said, oh, it's a lot of capping going on. And, like most people do it, a lot of people that's black, a lot of the black funerals, they get up there and tell so many lies on the person and things. But for the most part, a lot of people, they was real respectful of Thaddeus. And I appreciate a lot of the tributes and the recollections and everything. I really appreciated that. And I didn't really, not that it's not important, but I didn't really have any interest in, viewing the burial part. Because it's already tough enough to see Thaddeus go, right? I don't like that part. I don't care who it is. Am I the only one that don't like the burial part? It's just like the final thing. I never liked that part, the burial part. I never liked it. And then the casket slowly going down. I don't like that part. And putting the flowers on top of the casket. Oh, it's just so egregious. It's so sad. I don't like that part. I don't like that part. And this is another part that I don't like. Oh, and they showed this online for Thaddeus. The hearse. Ooh, I can't stand to see that part. Oh, am I the only one? I can't stand to see that part. It just seems so super sad. Oh, I don't like to see that part. Do y'all? I don't like that part at all. Oh my gosh. But guess what? Guess what? I have told y'all so many times. I started noticing this years ago. When certain people die, have you noticed how it rains the day that they die or the day of the funeral? It was a bright sunny day on February 24th, 2025 when he died. It was a beautiful, bright, sunshiny day. And I had a feeling that it was going to rain the day of his funeral. And guess what? It did. That evening, it did. Yes, it did. I don't know what that's all about. In a way, I feel like maybe it's the person's grief being released onto the earth and washing and purging their residue from the earth or something like that. I don't know. But isn't that interesting? Have y'all paid that any attention? When certain, and it doesn't happen to everybody, but certain people, when they die, it rains. Or the day of the funeral, it rains. Yes. And I remember when young Dolph died, Oh my God. Now earlier that day when when he was killed, it was a bright sunshiny day, just like now. But that night, it started around 8 o'clock. I remember. It rained, and it rained super hard. And it was a little small earthquake. Do y'all remember that? I said, oh, it's something major going on in the spirit realm. Something major. Yes. And I remember something else. Right after I watched the funeral, Thaddeus' funeral online. Oh my God. I was laying in the bed. And all of a sudden, I remember having dreamed about a snake a few weeks ago. And I think I told y'all about it the next day. Do y'all remember? And a lot of y'all didn't really pay no attention to what I was saying. You weren't interested. So I think I might have deleted the video. I'm not sure. Or maybe I put it on private. And then I was thinking, I think I posted it on my community page on YouTube. And I did. And it was still there. I said, let me go and see if I did. And see what the date is. Because Thaddeus died 2 weeks ago. Going on 3. And I looked and I found the post. I found it. And it said 3 weeks ago. I said, oh my God. Oh my God. Listen. It's significant. It's something significant about the snake, okay? Let me tell you something. For a long time, I have been dreaming. You know, God gives different people spiritual gifts. And it's sort of like a premonition. Sometimes when I dream about a dog or a pack of dogs, it's a lot of danger around me, or somebody might be plotting on me to do me some harm. And every time I dream about some dogs, it end up being somebody being low down to me. And I hadn't dreamed about no dogs in a long time. And sometimes I dream about a snake and it be some danger around me. And I appreciate God for equipping me with that and helping me and sort of like being my internal spiritual security guard and letting me know that there's some danger impending. And I don't dream about snakes a lot, but when I do, I know something's going on. Yeah. And when I dream about a white snake, oh boy, it's going down. And it's not in a good way either. Usually when I dream about a white snake, somebody that I know real good is getting ready to die. I don't have no control over it. It's not me. It's not me doing it. And I get so nervous. I haven't dreamed about a white snake a lot. Maybe 3 times in my lifetime that I can recall. And every time I dream about a white snake, somebody that I know dies soon after. The last time I dreamed about a white snake, before this last time, my uncle died soon after. And this last time when I dreamed about a white snake 3 weeks ago, this time it was a king cobra. I never dreamed about a king cobra. And I remember waking up and I was so nervous. Oh, I was shaking. I was sweating. And in the dream, the king cobra, it was white. and it was moving from side to side, looking right at me. It never took its eyes off of me. It didn't hiss. It didn't slither. Uh-uh. It was just looking at me with them little beady eyes. And it every now and again it'll move from side to side, up and down, side to side, up and down. And when I woke up, I was so nervous. I said, uh-oh. I knew something was getting ready to happen, but I didn't know what. And life has been lifing since then. It's been so much going on. So many people have been aggravating me on that job and blah, 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 blah. So the dream about the snake kind of was pushed to the back side of my head, right? I had forgot all about the snake dream. And after I finished watching the Thaddeus funeral online the other day, a few minutes later, I was jolted because I remember that dream. I said, oh my God. So I went back on my page and saw when did I post that about I dreamed about the snake. It was 3 weeks ago. On a Sunday. If I'm not mistaken, it was the 16th of February. Thaddeus died on the 24th. I said, oh my God. Was it Thaddeus that was getting ready to die? And that snake that I dreamed about was sort of like a premonition. And see, I never know who it is. I never know who it is until it happens. Oh my God. Ugh. And I was like, oh my God, I could not believe it. Wow. So now, the funeral is over. And I had said, it's not going to be the same, as far as the lives. And a lot of people have been missing the lives. And it's sort of like when Bobby OJ, another well-known radio personality in Memphis, died. I used to watch him, not watch him, listen to him almost every morning on the radio. 9 o'clock. He tell celebrity news. I always love to listen at celebrity news and listen at his perspective of things, right? And I get so depressed at 9 o'clock in the morning. Cause and it's been several years now since Bobby OJ has been dead. And 9 o'clock weekdays, Monday through Friday, is not the same. And it's such a depressing time. And just like that is, I feel like he could have lived so much longer. He was so health conscious. And I really feel like there was some foul play surrounding his death. And his son felt the same way. But there was a lot of people that manipulated him and made him feel guilty and feel like he was wrong for thinking that there was foul play. I don't think he was wrong. And if it is foul play, we don't have to worry because God is going to spin the block. Yeah. But another person who I feel like there was some foul play, another person that was in media that a whole lot of people didn't like, mostly black women. And I thought it was so diabolical and cruel to celebrate his death. Kevin Samuels. Those are my top three. My top three. goats of media. Greatest of all time. In my roster, Thaddeus, Bobby OJ, and Kevin Samuels. Those are the three top goats. Okay. Yes. They were badass. They kicked ass, didn't they? Yes. And people, you got to realize people, everybody's not going to like you. And once you get over that, you can dominate the craft, okay? You can do the damn thing. But so many people fail at the craft because they want to be liked. Everybody's not going to like everything. Okay? And I'm so glad that I got over that and accepted that and embraced that years ago. And the hell with these people. Okay? I don't like a lot of things that they do. I don't like a lot of people. So it's okay. It's okay if a lot of people don't like me. So I'm not going to worry about the people that don't like me and the things that I say. I'm going to focus on the people that do. Okay? I'm going to focus on what I like. I like talking about people, places, and things, and I do a damn good job at it. Yes. Okay? Yes. And, when you're a threat, you're always going to be a target. Yeah. So expect it. It comes with the territory. And you must be doing something right when people who claim that they don't like you, they still watch you. Okay, you're on the right path. When you got a whole lot of people who claim that they hate you, they don't like you, but they follow everything you do all over social media, everywhere you go. They're interested in what you're doing, who you're doing it with, how you're doing it. And they're trying their best to try to stop you and sabotage you and put roadblocks in front of you. But if it's God's will, he's going to elevate you regardless. And it ain't nothing and no devil in hell that can stop you. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, no matter how they feel. That's why they made pockets. Put your feelings in your pockets. Okay? It's going to be a lot of people that's going to try to emulate Thaddeus and try to take his place and try to step in his shoes. Those are some big shoes to try to fill, okay? And instead of trying to be like him or anybody else, be yourself. Thaddeus, he had his turn, he had his run, and he had a hell of a run. Some people will say he succeeded. Some people will say he failed. But one thing about it, he did the damn thing. And he wasn't afraid to try. And he wasn't afraid to keep trying different things. He was always trying to rebrand himself, reinvent himself. He was always trying to be in the spotlight, even at his age. And that's commendable. Some people will say it's time to go somewhere and sit down. But he didn't want to sit down, so life sat him down. But that's commendable. He wasn't lazy. He wasn't afraid to try. And it's a lot of things that he tried and he failed at. But he kept trying again and again and again. So for that, I salute him. That's commendable. That's remarkable. Yeah. So in a lot of ways, he left a legacy, whether it was good or bad, you know. And he still has so many people talking. Okay. Yeah. But I really appreciate you all so much for tuning in to this live. And we will remember Thaddeus and celebrate his life and his legacy for so many, many years to come. And we appreciate Thaddeus, okay? Because he brought us a lot of news. He brought a lot of awareness to us, a lot of things we didn't know, okay? And um, he gave us a lot of laughs, right? Thaddeus was very funny. And some people say he was funny looking. And he would always say he's handsome, he's cute. And that made me laugh right there. I'm like, man, come on now. Come on now. Yeah. But Thaddeus, he was a person who really had a very beautiful heart. Okay. He would help people. Even people that would hurt him, he would still help them. And, you know, even with him and his wife falling out and his children falling out with him and he fell out with them. And, you know, me, I would be saying, that is, he needs to get a divorce. He needs to leave them kids alone. To hell with them. He needs to go on and live his life. He needs to just move out of Memphis and get him a little small house and live his life. But his heart would not let him do that. Even though he was hurt, he still cared. He still wanted to love and be loved. And yes, he was very abrasive at times. And he had an ego, you know. And that was just him, and it was just hard to be any other way. After you've been a certain way so many times and you know, you're afraid to trust a lot of people, and a lot of people have betrayed your trust. You know, that's sort of like a coping mechanism. He's building up a wall of defense, and he's got to be pretending like he's tough. He's got to be pretending like he's the bear. He's got to be, you know what I'm saying? And one thing that I used to laugh about that is, and I used to say through the TV screen, every time he talk about, oh, I'm going to get my shotgun. I'm going to get my shotgun. I'm going to do this to you. Your mama going to be looking at you a different way, singing a sad song and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you ain't shot nobody yet. Stop that cap. Stop talking about you going to do this and do that. You ain't hurt nobody yet. I think he was just a big bluff. But he did get in a lot of fights, and he lost the fear. We saw the pictures, right? Yes. I think he got beat up at Marlowe's, but he didn't care. He didn't care about people laughing at him. I was one of them when he got beat up, and you remember the picture? He was sitting on the bed, bloody. He didn't care. He kept. That didn't stop him from getting up and going back again. Yes, yes, yes. He didn't care that you saw the picture. He had peed on himself in the front. He didn't care. That wasn't going to stop him from talking to the women. He loved women. He loved them. Big, fat, skinny. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. But he also loved community. Okay? He cared about the community. And it's too bad that the community, even though a lot of people did care about him and a lot of people loved him, the community really didn't reciprocate what he gave for the most part. But I salute the ones that did. Yeah. He helped so many people. Yes. And he helped bury a lot of people. And we saw and heard a lot of people disrespect Thaddeus after he had helped them. But that did not stop him. He kept on helping. He kept on loving. He kept on trying. to leave this world better than how he found it. And I salute him for that too. Yes. Yes. But anyway, thank y'all so much for tuning in. I'm getting hungry. And I'm getting ready to go get something very unhealthy to eat. Yes. And I'm going to fall off the wagon and I'll get back on again. Hopefully, God will give me grace and show me some mercy. But today, I'm gonna go eat something very unhealthy in honor of Thaddeus, because I know that's what he would do. He would want to eat something unhealthy, even though it's best to eat something healthy. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. And I remember when I first started listening to Thaddeus, and he was on the radio at that time, right? That was way before he got on TV. And let me tell you, and see, I usually don't like to tell people business when they're dead, because they're not here to offer a rebuttal and defend themselves. I usually don't like to do that, but I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this. Okay, it's kind of funny, in my opinion. Okay, so this I used to listen at Thaddeus. I think my friend that I was working with, this dude, had told me about Thaddeus. So I started listening to Thaddeus, and I kind of liked him. At the same time, I was listening to Wendy Williams. So he kind of reminded me a little bit of, he had a little Wendy Williams and a little bit of Oprah mixed in with a little bit of Thug. And I said, I like this dude. He's so bold. He's so boisterous. He kind of remind me of myself. You know what I'm saying? And so I kept listening to him, and then my friends and my coworkers would be talking about what he talked about on the radio. And I'm going to tell you the truth. It was turning me on that Thaddeus was talking about all this. He get in that mood where he want to talk about all this sex. And, I be laying in that bed just getting so hot and bothered by that deep baritone voice coming through that radio and things. And I said, he ain't so good looking, but that voice sounds so good to me. And then he get all into it. He get all into all that conversation. You know how he would do. I mean, he just get raw with it and uncut. And I said, the more I listened to him, I said, I'm just getting so aroused. And baby, so many times I tried to call in, and the phone line was locked all up, because all them other heifers be calling in, holding up the line. And this went on for weeks and weeks and months. I just couldn't get in. I just couldn't get in the line to call in and talk smack back to him, because I could talk some smack too. And my coworker, this female that I was working with at the time, she started listening to him too. I don't know if I turned her on to, I think I did. I think I put her on to Thaddeus. So she started listening to him. She started liking him. And so one thing led to another. And I finally got a hold of him on the telephone. And I don't know how this got initiated. I don't know who idea it was. I think it was my idea. So we ended up calling him on three-way or something like that. And one thing led to another. And we decided we was going to meet for drinks downtown. I think she was a third wheel. I think it was supposed to be me and him. And then some kind of way she ended up being the third wheel. I don't know if she invited herself or what. But anyway, she was a third wheel. And I kind of had a crush on Thaddeus. And I was trying to shoot my shot. And here she go inviting herself. Can't you just dislike people that do that? You trying to get fast and shoot your shot and thing. And here comes somebody else all in the way. Okay. So I said, okay, okay. This is no offense to Thaddeus. No offense. But in my opinion, Thaddeus was not cute. He was not cute. Okay, he wasn't cute. And this was a time when he was wearing them thick, thick Coke bottle glasses. Before he got the glasses that he had at the end, he had them real thick round glasses. And I didn't think he was so cute. But I liked his personality. I liked his voice. And my friend that I worked with, she didn't know what he looked like. She was just mesmerized by his voice. And I said, okay. I was so mad that she wanted to come. I was so mad at her. And when we got down there, well, no, we didn't get down there. We didn't get down there. We didn't get down there. We was on the telephone getting ready to meet him. And she just done took over the conversation. I was so mad. I was so mad at her. And I said to myself, now if she bogarting the conversation on the phone, of course she gonna take over the conversation when we get down there in person. I wasn't gonna let that happen. So this is what I did. I got in my car and started driving downtown. But the more I was driving, I was thinking about how she was going to take over that whole conversation. And I was going to be mad about it. So I said, okay. I'm going to do her dirty. Okay. And I said, okay. I'm going to pretend like I'm having some problems and I'm going to be late. And I'm going to let her go down now and see what it looked like. And she going to be stuck with him. And that's what I did. And I knew when she got down there and she seen him, she was going to start blowing up my phone because she was going to try to get out of there. This what you asked for, sister. This what you asked for. So she, in true fashion, she started calling my phone and texting the hell out of me. I didn't answer. And I was just laughing. Because I knew what she was calling me for. She saw that Thaddeus was not attractive. So she wanted to back up out of it. At that point. I said, no, stay down there. You was about to literally break your neck to get down there because you was so gung-ho and attracted to that voice. That deep baritone voice. Yeah. Baby, I didn't answer her phone call the rest of the day. I just let her deal with it the best way she could. Yes. And every time she called my phone, I would laugh. Yes. Okay. So the next day, or that night, I called Thaddeus and was telling him, oh, I had some problems. I'm so sorry I didn't make it. So he was like, that's okay. We can meet up another time. And so months later, we did. And so we did having a little encounter. Okay, I talked about this before. I'm not gonna talk about it again. But he didn't give me no chicken and he didn't give me no $15. Like he said, he lied about that part. And we fell out right after the encounter because he on the radio 2 days later dragging me about another situation involving this other man that I was involved with that didn't have nothing to do with him. And it just got blown out of yeah. And I'm like, another friend that I was working with, he called me and it was like 6:30 in the morning. I was asleep. And he said, are you listening to the radio? I said, no. He said, you not listening to Thaddeus? And he was just like in a panic. And I said, no, I'm not listening. What's going on? He said, turn on your radio. Thaddeus is talking about you real bad. And my eyes got so big and I'm half asleep. I'm like, what? Baby, he said, you need to turn that radio on. He is talking about you real bad. I turned on that radio and sure enough, there you go. There you go. Just literally wearing me out. And talking about me and my business that I had told him the night before we had our encounter. And I'm like, why is he even doing this? Why is he? That don't even have nothing to do with him. And oh my gosh. So I'm trying to call in to the radio. He ignored my call. He ignored my call because he know that what I'm gonna say is gonna dispute what he's saying. He don't want me to call in because that's gonna change the narrative. So I started texting him, and he telling the people, his audience, oh, she texting me now. She texting me now. I'm not gonna make you a star. I'm not gonna make you a star. No, you ain't gonna get to call in on this show. I said, okay. All right. So since I can't call in, you don't want me to tell my side of the story, I'm going to tell my side of the story another way. So he had a blog. I had a blog too. So I got on the blog and I told my side. So he found out about the blog. Oh, he had a problem with that. And oh my God, it just got so messy. It got so messy. Okay. And so I could not believe it. He was on the radio telling everybody my phone number and my address. You know, Thaddeus was bad about doing it, right? Yes. When he really wanted to play dirty with you, he would tell your address, where you work, your phone number, and tell everybody to call you. Yeah. And don't you know, a lot of people started coming by my house and blowing their horn and yelling all kind of stuff out the window. And a few people started throwing trash in my yard. And somebody came by and knocked my mailbox over. Yes. And it happened several times. Every time I would get the mailbox put back up, somebody would come back and knock it down again. And I'm like, oh, wow. Then this one dude, this big old black dude, he came one night knocking on my door, and I would not open the door. Of course not. Then he kept knocking on every window. He knocked on every window on the house. And I'm like, who in the hell is this? And oh my God, all of this went on for so long. Okay. For so long. And and see, we would go through all of that kind of stuff. And then it'll simmer down. And then, I was still listening at the show. Okay. And that's the type of stuff we would go through for years and years and years. And I believe he was watching my stuff. He was listening at my video. He would never say it. He would never admit it. Because, he didn't want to give me no props for my little platform, because he wasn't the type to want in my opinion, want no competition. He wanted to be the big dog on the social media, on the media block, right? So I knew he was listening at my commentary and looking at my page. Yes. And a couple of times, I would say things, in response to his stuff, and he would get mad and come on my page and talk stuff to me. And baby, we done blocked each other on social media so many times. We don't blocked each other so many times, and we create so many different new pages all over again, and we keep on watching each other's stuff. It was a crazy situation, right? But I still really respected Thaddeus. I still love Thaddeus. And it was no real beef. It was not no real beef, right? And I knew that's just how he was. That's just how his personality was, you know. And in a lot of ways, my personality is the same way. So, in that regard, I understood. Okay, yes. And just like he had trolls, I had the same kind of trolls. And it would make me laugh so hard whenever he would deal with them trolls. Because I had to deal with them the same way. I had to deal with them the same way. Yes. Child, and every time I think about getting a phone line, get somebody else to do it. And I'd be like, ooh, that would drive me crazy having to deal with them people on the phone. Like that is what would have to do. And they call up there pranking and talking crazy. No. Every time I thought about getting a phone line, I'm like, I don't have the patience. I don't have the patience to do this. No. Mm-mm. But yeah. And every time we have a little beef, I would get some of Thaddeus fans in increments. And now that he's passed, I see a whole bunch of them done came over here. Yeah, a whole bunch of them. So, yeah, Thaddeus, he got a lot of interesting fans. And baby, I'm going to have to be strong, or they going to have to be strong. I don't know which one it's going to be. I don't know which one it's going to be. But, yeah, we're gonna make it do what it do. Okay. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, we are missing Thaddeus. And baby, can't nobody fill Thaddeus shoes. Uh-uh. Yeah. He kept it interesting, didn't he? Yes, he did. It was never a dull moment. Never. Never. Never a dull moment while Thaddeus was here. Yes. Even on the sick bed. He kept the party jumping. Yes, yes, yes. And yes, he was a one of a kind, and we really are missing him and celebrate his life, good, bad, or otherwise. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this live. Okay. Let me see what y'all's comment. Rest in power. Yes. When Young Dolph died, there was a small earthquake. Yes. Yes, Latasha said when it rains, when people die, it means no more tears. Yes. Okay. Darius says, that is the one thing I can't stand. I don't like it when someone takes pictures of the dead while they are in the casket. I don't like that either. I don't like that either. Latasha says, I think it was that video that took him out. I think so too, Latasha. That video, the leaked sex video, yes. He never came back from that. Yeah, his heart was already weak. His heart was already weak and failing. Yeah, that was embarrassing to him. It was humiliating to him. And the fact that he could not get up and do something about it, that made it worse. Latasha says, honestly, in my opinion, I feel like the person close to him linked that video. I do too, Latasha, on that person. Thank you, Darius Moses Tyson. Yes, that's the name of the person that did the organ performance at Thaddeus' funeral. I couldn't think of his name earlier. Yes. I love when he played the organ. Yeah, he did a real good job. I enjoyed that too. Darius says, when the tape came out against him, to me, that hurt Thaddeus big time. It did. While he was at the hospital, it did. And that was low down on the person that leaked it. That's low down and evil of that person that did that. And I don't think no good gonna come to that person either. God is gonna deal with them. Just watch. We may not even see it, but it's some it's yeah, yeah, yeah. It's some things gonna really happen to that person. Yeah, God is gonna deal with them. Um, I don't know if you talking about Tawana Murphy, was she there at the funeral? G-Sup. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I wonder? I wonder if Dale was there, his personal assistant, his former personal assistant slash lover. I wonder, did she go? That's who I was wondering about. I knew it was somebody. I knew it was somebody I forgot to mention. Yes. Do y'all think she was there? Dale. Do y'all think Dale was there? I wonder if Dale came to the funeral. She should have got up there and said something in tribute to him. I wonder, did she go? Lady T says, did any of the other bishops attend the funeral? I don't know. I don't know. I was hoping, you know who I was hoping? It was two other ministers that I was hoping that I would see. You know who I was hoping would come and do a tribute to him? What's his name? New Salem. New Salem. What's the minister, the pastor name? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. And he looks so good. He looks so good. Oh, he looks so good. He looks so healthy. Ray. Ray. Reverend Ray. What's his name? Ray. Y'all, why I can't remember these people's name? My God. Reverend Ray. What's his name though? Reverend Ray. I was wondering if he was gonna come and say some words. You know, Reverend Ray of New Salem Church. I love him and his ministry. And he's looking so good nowadays. And World Overcomers, Apostle Williams. I was wondering if he was gonna come. Cause he had started, sending Thaddeus little emails and stuff, and Thaddeus was sharing it on his show. I was wondering if he was gonna come. Yeah. But Reverend Ray, I was wondering if he was gonna come too. And a lot of the other ministers, I was really thinking that a lot of them would come. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Frank Ray. Yes, I love him. I love Reverend Frank Ray. Yes. And no disrespect to that is. But I think in a lot of ways, he really tried to emulate a lot of the pastors. And I think that might be why he threw a lot of them under the bus. Because he wanted to be like them and have a big church and a big following. But in my opinion, he kept failing. A lot of times he started these churches, a lot of people would not support him. And he would get mad at them not supporting. And he, that one time, he had threatened to take a lot of them off the roster because they didn't support. And, he was meeting a lot of these women allegedly in the church too. So I was like, how you going to talk about the other pastors when you allegedly doing some of the same things, And I think he had a heart for ministry, but he needed, in my opinion, he needed to be developed a little bit more and let God work on him and purge a lot of the things that was ungodly out of him so he could be more holy and righteous and used by God instead of being used by these women. Women was his weakness. Am I telling the truth? Am I telling the truth? You know, no offense to him, but he had a weakness for women, okay? And that was a problem that interfered with him in ministry, in my opinion. Okay? I think he could have been more effective had he just let God work on him and prepare him, and help him to be stronger. But because when other people are looking at you doing the same thing that the people out here in the world are doing, they don't have a lot of faith in you. And they're going to call you a hypocrite. And they're not going to be drawn to God because they being drawn away from you because, they're looking at you like, how you going to tell me what to do when you doing the same thing I'm doing? You know what I'm saying? And the cussing interfered with his ministry. And I don't know why he thought that cussing was cute. And he let a lot of these people brainwash him and convince him that that was cute to name himself the Cussing Pastor. But in the end, to his defense, he did denounce that moniker. But unfortunately, a lot of people all over the world gonna remember him for that, the Cussing Pastor. But on his sickbed/deathbed, he did denounce that moniker. He said he didn't want to be known as the Cussing Pastor no more. He wanted to go back to using Pastor Raw. And I want to tell him, I don't like that either. Just call yourself Thaddeus. I never liked that, Pastor Raw. I never liked that. It don't even sound good. Just call yourself Thaddeus, okay? And I think he saw that he wanted to right a lot of his wrongs in the end, and he was hopeful that God, like so many other times in the past, would raise him from his sick bed and he would have the same testimony. Look at God. God done healed me. The people that thought I was dead, nah. He didn't get to do that this time. This time, he was pushing himself so hard. He really wanted to do the work to regain his strength in his legs. He wanted to push himself so hard to get back doing his show. He loved his show. He was so passionate about his show. He loved his fans. He loved having an audience. He loved having a platform. He loved going live. He loved talking about whatever he wanted to talk about. And for him to be barely breathing, his voice was so faint and so low. Oh, going from that deep baritone, Thaddeus Matthews, to can barely talk. I'm pretty sure that hurt him so bad. And I have thought about that. A lot of things that he used to build the Thaddeus brand, the Cussing Pastor brand. He used his legs to do good and to do bad. And in the end, he couldn't use his legs anymore. He had lost a lot of weight. He had lost a lot of strength all over his body. He didn't even look like himself anymore. And when I saw that picture that his daughter posted, it hurt me so bad. And I said, oh boy, it probably won't be long now. And it wasn't. After that picture, it was just a matter of hours. The life was gone out of Thaddeus. And it is said when we are born, we look like our mother and father. And when we die, we look like our choices. Wow. But shout out to E.H. Ford Mortuary. They did a good job restoring his looks. He looked like he was just taking a nap in the casket. He looked really, really good. And he had prepared for this day over the years. He oftentimes talked about, the funeral business and how he wanted his funeral and this and that. So he had prepared himself for this day, right? But yet and still, I'm pretty sure he didn't want this day to come. A lot of his fans didn't want this day to come. But that day has come, and we have to accept it. We have to accept God's will. If it was up to us and we had it our way, if Thaddeus had it his way, he would still be here. But God's will shall be done. And we cannot, even though we got a lot of questions, even though we got a lot of people that we could say, oh, it's your fault. You should have did this. You should have. God's will has won. Okay? And nobody defeats the grave. Okay? In life, we win some, but in death, we lose a lot more. Yeah. But Thaddeus, he accomplished a whole lot while he was here. And he could have did a whole lot more. And he could have lived a lot longer. And a lot of people shorten their lives by the choices that is made. That's why it's so important to be obedient and make good choices as best as we can, right? Wow. 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 But yeah. He was a remarkable person. And we're so glad to have experienced that is in this lifetime. Yes. And he wanted the best for us. He wanted, even though a lot of people did not like his delivery, he meant well. And he wanted the best for his city. He wanted the best for his community. He wanted the best for other men. He wanted the best for other women. And he loved everybody, even though he showed tough love. It was his way of showing that he cared. If he didn't care, he wouldn't talk about it every day. And he wanted us to be a better version of ourselves. He wanted to be a better version of himself, you know. And even though he had turned his life around in so many ways, unfortunately, a lot of people will not let you be redeemed. They want to be redeemed. They want God to forgive them, but they don't want to forgive Thaddeus. They want to remember the bad that he did, and they don't want to remember and talk about the good. But aren't you glad that God is not like man? When God forgives and wipes the slate clean, we are redeemed. Yeah. And I'm so glad that God has the last say. Because if it was up to these people, these haters who don't like that is, he wouldn't be forgiven. But I'm so glad that we serve a forgiving God. Yes. And on the other side, Thaddeus is healthy. He has a whole new spiritual body. Yes. He has a new heart. He has a new walk. He got a new talk. Yeah. He's looking through spiritual eyes. He probably don't even need them glasses. Yeah. And hopefully he's in no more pain. No more suffering. No more disappointment. Okay? Yes. Okay, you guys. I'm going to get off of here. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this live. I appreciate y'all so much. Okay, Latasha says, I think it was that. Okay, I read that when the tape came out against him. To me, that hurt. That is big time. While he was at the hospital. Okay, I read that. Who is this? G-Sup, you asked what was Mel doing. I think I saw the camera put uh, pan on Mel. And I think that was her niece, Morgan, that she was sitting next to. For the most part, she wasn't really doing nothing, just paying attention to the service. That's all I seen her doing. Yeah. Okay, Latasha said, I had the privilege to meet Thaddeus. I drove from Hattiesburg, Mississippi to meet him. Thaddeus was my friend. Yes. Yeah, I was wondering, was Chick Rogers gonna be there? He used to mention her all the time. Maybe she was there. I didn't see her. And Tony Green. I said I know Tony Green gonna be there. Did anybody see Tony? I didn't see Tony. He used to mention her all the time too. Yeah, but yes, I agree, Lady T. Lady T said 67 years old is still young. I agree. And he was so spry. Wasn't he spry for 67? He looked good for 67. Looked so young and had a young spirit. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, you guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in to this live. I enjoyed this live, and hopefully you all enjoyed it too. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and we'll do some more lives like this real soon. I think I want to talk about what's his name? Omar Johnson and his daughter having a little falling out online. I want to talk about that probably tomorrow. And we got a lot of other stuff to talk about too. Like, also, I want to talk about the teacher. Did y'all hear about the teacher last week that killed herself in the classroom in Memphis? Wow. Wow. I thought that was low down to do that in front and have those children come to school and see that. Yeah, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about the OBGYN doctor. I think he done got arrested for doing a whole lot of horrible things and putting a lot of women at risk. You know, I always had that's why a lot of women don't go to the doctor. Because these doctors are terrible. Ooh, them OBGYN doctors. Oh, a lot of them be doing so many things. I want to talk about that. Oh, that doctor, allegedly, he was not cleaning that thing that they put up in you. And I always felt like that thing was nasty. Child, I hope he the only one that didn't clean that thing, the stirrups. Is that what it's called? No, that's what you put your feet on, your ankles. Not your ankles. Is it your ankles? Whatever that thing is that they insert into you to check you out and spread you open and things. He wasn't cleaning it. Ooh, just nasty. And subjected his patients to all kind of STDs, according to the news. Just nasty. I know he was making enough money where he could clean that thing or get some new ones for each patient. Oh, that's going to have me paranoid the next time I go get my checkup and things. Ugh. I might need to buy my own and take to the doctor. Oh my God. Yeah, I want to talk about that. And it's a lot of other stuff in the news. What y'all think about Charleston White? You know, the rapper in Texas that got killed with his 5-year-old daughter. Charleston, did y'all see the video? Charleston said, fuck that baby. And the daddy. Fuck that dead baby. Oh, I said, oh my God. Am I the only one that, I had to grab my heart like Fred Sanford. I said, oh, I know he didn't say that. He said it. And he said it a bunch of times over and over and over. And he meant it. Yes. And he said, who gonna do something to me? Who gonna put their life on the line and do something to me? Who gonna try to do something to me? And just watch how he tried to spin the narrative. Next thing you know, he gonna say, oh, I was just playing a character. He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way with that one right there. Oh, Charleston, he started changing once he started getting a couple of dollars. I liked him better when he was broke and on that couch with that nappy head. Don't y'all? Child, you can't let the niggas get a couple of dollars. Money changes niggas. It changes niggas. He been talking reckless. More reckless since he done got a couple of dollars, haven't he? Ooh, he gonna have to pay for that. Saying it about the little girl, the little baby. He said, fuck that baby. Fuck that dead baby and her dead daddy. Oh, I don't even feel right saying that. That's bad juju right there. Oh, forgive me, Lord. I don't even like repeating that. Do y'all? Oh, did y'all see the video? Oh, that was so terrible. That was so terrible for a grown man to sit up and talk like that. Oh, I don't even want to do a video talk about that. No, that's enough. That's enough. Ooh. I would be nervous to even be around Charleston after he say something like that. Oh, God gonna deal with him, ain't he? Oh, it's something terrible gonna happen to Charleston for saying something like that. Oh, you don't talk about the dead like that. Especially a dead little girl. Oh my God. Oh, that made me feel disgusting. Oh, it made me feel disgusting. Don't it make y'all feel disgusting? Oh. Oh, let's change the subject. Oh, that's terrible. That's real terrible right there. Oh. Yeah. So it's some other stuff I want to talk about. Let's see, I wrote it down. I wrote it down because my mind getting bad. I can't remember a lot of this stuff like I used to. Let's see. I wrote it down. Oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, yes. I got a lot of other stuff to talk about. Oh, yes. Mm. One of the other things I want to talk about. Did y'all see the man? The man that had been having sex with the little girl, and she got pregnant and had the baby in the car, and he throw the baby in the dumpster. Child, they done dismissed the charges. What kind of justice system do we got? Oh, yeah, yeah, they done dropped the charges. The man, a grown man, was having sex with a little teenage girl, and she gave birth in his car. He chunked the baby in the garbage, and they done dismissed the charges. Child, why they ain't protesting about that? Why they not protesting about that and boycotting and all that kind of stuff? Child, and what happened? Speaking of a dead baby getting chunked in the trash, what happened? Am I the only one that's been looking and wondering what happened to the boy that chunked the baby, the newborn baby, in the Mississippi River several years ago now? Why everybody done went to court but him? Why he ain't been to court? I think they done snuck that boy. Somebody done paid some money. He done snuck out of jail. I need to know why he ain't been to court. Why he ain't been to court yet? Yeah. And then he killed the mama, allegedly. Chunked the baby in the Mississippi River. It was cold outside when he did that. Child. Yeah, but we got a lot of stuff to talk about. And I hope we get to talk about it. I got to give me some rest. And go get me something real nasty and unhealthy to eat and delicious. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, you guys. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to this live. I enjoyed y'all so much. And I talked much longer than what I intended. I was so long-winded. But it was worth it, wasn't it? Yes. Thaddeus is deserving of some long-winded talking. Yes, and it's a shame that he can't talk no more. But we can remember the talking that he did. Yes. Okay, you guys. Thank y'all so much once again for tuning in. And you all have a great and blessed day. And we'll talk again real soon. I'll let you girl. Peace.